Facebook.
Target acquired.
Upload. Uploading discontent, anger, jealousy, rage. Posting. Congratulations, you have just added to your own drama. I hope your children do not see this.
You've gone beyond the bar stool with Jennifer James.
I donated an egg. And that's what you got to remember as you're posting these things against your ex or significant other on Facebook. Your kids can vent because I want to see if I'm being the least of your worries. Your main worry should be what your child sees.
You've gone beyond the bar stool with Jennifer James. Real life, real practical, real radio. blogtalkradio.com.
Thanks for joining me again. Going on week 3 with the new producer, and Brian Freeman Productions is getting better and better. I just cannot tell you how grateful I am that he has made this show, got to say, like 100 times better for real. Anyway, last week we covered Baby Mama Drama. If you didn't catch it, you can go back and play it because it's right here on Spreaker. Week before, we talked about how combining families is not like the Brady Bunch. That right there, that's the biggest lie you'll ever see. Combining families is hard work, but it pays off. I couldn't imagine my life without these extras. So I hope y'all are having a great week. This week I got like the hugest surprise of a lifetime. I'm getting to spend time with my 13-year-old who lives in Mobile. And it's kind of cute because he called last week to see if we could come see him. And of course I said yes, and I did not think to hand the steps the phone to talk to him because I guess because he's far away and hasn't been around the steps as much as he has, that I don't really think of giving them the phone to talk to him like his biologicals. So as I'm talking to him, he asked to speak to one of the steps, and we're not taking the steps with us because I thought that would be intrusive because I haven't gotten that much time with him, as he chose to live with his dad because he said the littles keep him awake and they were a headache, and he wanted to live with his dad. Yes, it hurt. Yes, I cried. Still do some days. I'm not even going to pretend like it was easy because I am a mom, and in a mom's heart, your number one goal is to protect the child and have him there, tuck him in every night, feed him every day. And for that child to say, your house is too noisy because the babies keep me awake, I want to go live with my dad, it kills you. It's like a knife to the heart. But you have to think what makes the child happy and what's better for him. So he was, he went and he lives with his dad. His brothers live with me. I go and visit him as often as I can. He comes and visits me as often as he can. Then we FaceTime. Social media is amazing because before social media, I didn't see him as often. With social media, we FaceTime as much as possible, and he calls, and like tonight, his dad's supposed to be sending me pictures of his first Halloween dance. And it takes a lot of patience, grace, a lot of Jesus. But his dad and I have to communicate, and by communicating together, I don't miss out on as much as I did before social media. And that's the thing that as adults you've got to think of. Social media can be your best friend, or it can be your worst enemy.
Jennifer James.
Join Jennifer James now online at www.facebook.com/Beyond the Barstool. Share your thoughts, your feelings. And thanks for tuning in.
And as we come back, let's go back and reiterate. Social media can be damning or it can be a blessing. Let's go with the blessing. You can see the pictures if you keep no baby mama drama in your life. You can add your significant, they're not significant, hell, you done divorced or moved on, but a sperm donor, egg donor, I don't know, however you want to say it, but your baby's other parent, because you would still be together. You wouldn't be angry if you really loved them. Then again, who knows in this world anymore? But for real, seriously, if you can control your drama, you can be friends with your baby's other half on social media. What does that mean? That means y'all share pictures of the children, of each other's lives. Now, am I friends with my baby's dad on Facebook or on Instagram or on Twitter? Nah, couldn't do it. I can't control my drama. I'm not going to pretend I'm perfect, okay? We all have our flaws. Here's my flaw. I have no filter sometimes. As you could probably tell in the last one, I do apologize to the preacher, okay? But, so, like, I tried being friends with him on Facebook, but then I watched his lies, and I'm, like, calling him out on his lies, which really pissed him off, because it's like, as he and his wife are posting how they're the best parents in the world, I'm like, hello, I'm over here. I do have a part in this child. I donated an egg, folks, okay? And then when she started having him call her mama, oh, that's a big hell no. My steps don't call me mama, okay? So anyway, back to it. Control yourself on social media, and y'all can watch. But now I do get pictures of my son. Don't let me kid you. We don't go through Facebook and stuff like that. I mean, sometimes he does. And like, my son and I can be friends on Facebook because I don't show him, you know, you've got that privacy thing over there where you can post public for friends or friends accept, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I kind of have to do that sometimes if I'm venting. And we don't vent because we're crazy. We vent because we want to see, or I do. Let me just say that. I vent because I want to see if I'm being rational. I've got one friend, like one evening, I got so peed off because he posted about going to his stepson's recital. Well, our biological son that I'm raising, it's his senior year, and he's graduating to become an adult and all that. And he had missed out on it because he went to his stepson's recital. So I went on social media and I did blast his tail because I'm like, here you are with your stepson while your biological son can never go back and relive this. I'll send you the videos. I'll send you the pictures, but F you. Okay? So a friend of ours was like, look, I'm not trying to take sides, but you don't need to be that harsh. And I'm like, no, he doesn't need to be that harsh. And, you know, I do realize that my ex-husband is the only father that this child knows, but I knew this child's dad who passed away, and his dad was magnificent. I mean, he was one of the best men you would ever meet. He would give you the shirt off his back. We went to high school together. And, you know, I sometimes forget that my friend passed and didn't really have a lot to do with this little boy, but my ex stepped in and did that. Am I saying my ex is a sainted angel? Hell no. I was married to him. But he, you know, he did that. And that's sometimes something I forget. But I blasted him on social media, which was damning for our relationship. I did have to go back and apologize for that. Thank you to my friend that pointed it out and kicked me in the head and said, hey, wake up, take that down. Too late, you know. And that's what you got to remember as you're posting these things against your ex or significant other on Facebook. Your kids can see this. If your kids don't see it, some other adult is going to see it, be talking about it to another adult because, you know, that's all people have to do nowadays is just sit back, gossip, and blah, 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 blah. And that blah, 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 blah goes back to your children's ears. And how is that child supposed to feel that mama or daddy said this on social media? Again, am I saying I'm perfect and I don't do it? No, I'm not. You know, we're all human. We all fail and come up short occasionally. And so am I out here blasting you for doing it? No, what I'm saying is sometimes we need to think. And, you know, that's something I'm having to teach myself is sometimes I have to think twice before I hit post, think twice before I hit send. Because once it's out there, we now have iPhones, we now have Androids, we now have screenshots. So you may delete it, but you don't totally delete it because we have screenshots. And what happens with them screenshots? Sometimes them screenshots end up going off into, what do we call this? Court. And then when you go to court, you got to clean it up. And, you know, court is the least of your worries. Your main worry should be what your child sees, what your child hears. And as I explained to my exes, we had to sit down, and because, like I said, we had one hell of a breakup. Let me tell you, I will tell you what both of our divorce lawyers said. They said it was the worst divorce ever that they have had to deal with in Etowah County. We were two raving crazy lunatics. I spent over $30,000 in a custody battle that should really have only cost maybe $3,000 or $4,000 had we been human, but we were not human. We fought it out, okay? So back to, you know, as I explained to him, we have to come together as a team. As a team, we have to pretend like we like each other, even on days I would like to stab him in the throat. Yes, I just said that. I would never really stab my ex in the throat, okay? Because I don't feel like going to jail. I'm too pretty for jail. So, you know, back to social media. When you're on social media, you should appear that you have the best relationship with your ex-spouse, with your child's biological, for that child. Okay, I will give you a for instance. One of my baby daddies, which he doesn't have anything to do with my son, he signed his rights over, is a severe dope head and alcoholic. Do I have a conversation with him? No, I don't. Do I have anything to do with him? No, I don't. Do I allow him in my son's life? No. Does my son know about him? He does. What does my son know about him? He knows his daddy is not around because he chose to give him to me as a gift, and that he should love his dad for giving him to me as a gift, and that one day his dad might decide to come and visit, but in the meantime, he's allowing my husband to stand in for him because he feels like he will be a better parent for him. Is that a lot to explain to a kindergartner? Oh, yeah. Is it a lot for a kindergartner to comprehend? Yes, it has been. My son goes to counseling. Do I think I made a bad decision? I don't, because my son was maybe 4 months old, barely old enough to sit up in a high chair. And I allowed him to visit. I chose to visit at a restaurant, which a lot of my friends worked at because I worked there. And he brought a girl from a strip club. He had met her the night before. He made sure to post that up on Facebook and MySpace. MySpace was around then. And he wanted me to know that he was bringing his WHO from the bar to meet his son, who he had not seen in several months. When the lady went to pick my son up, I just about lost it and about went to jail. Luckily, one of my friends just grabbed her hands and said, I don't recommend it. And so the girl sat down, and my ex, he says, oh, are you jealous? And I'm like, of what? So we no longer had any more after that. I did contact him last year because my son wanted to speak to him. And he said, I'll let you know when I want to talk to the little bastard. I signed him over to you to take care of. It was a kick to the teeth.